Hey y'all, so I'm back with a follow-up to the vlog I posted about my new house. Some of you guys were asking me about where I was living at before. So this is where I was living at before. My old apartment. Yeah, this is my old apartment. This is the kitchen area, dining area, living room. And y'all, it really wasn't anything too fancy. It's a nice apartment, don't get me wrong. I love my apartment. I live here by myself. People were asking me about that too. I lived here by myself. I lived in this particular unit for 2 years, but prior to that, I lived in a 1-bedroom. This one's a 2-bedroom. I upgraded when I started filming and needed more space to a 2-bedroom, but I lived in the 1-bedroom for about 4 years. So total, I've been living by myself for probably since 2013, I think. I'm a little fuzzy because the first time, funny story, I got a funny story. First time I started living by myself, I had a roommate. I had just graduated college and I was still living in like those campus apartments, but it wasn't like through like the actual school, but they were like housing basically for students. They were nice houses, and what they did was they had the rent already, like you basically signed a lease per room and everything was like all included. So my other apartment was near where I had went to college at, which was UNCG, the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. And I signed a lease there for a room and I had a roommate. Well, she had gotten evicted. And again, we signed 2 separate leases, so it didn't matter. She had gotten evicted and some crazy stuff went down when she got evicted, to the point where the apartment complex was kind of like, we just gonna let you have this apartment to yourself, because they didn't properly evict her and it was some drama and a lot of mess. And I guess I wasn't upset about it. It wasn't my problem because I was still staying there and I was paying my bills. But they ended up just letting me keep the apartment. And at first I was nervous about living by myself, but y'all, I loved it. So I was like, oh, when I move again, I'm not gonna get another roommate. So when I re-signed my lease, I moved to the apartment like 3 buildings down in the 1-bedroom, and now I'm here in this one and it's a 2-bedroom. But let me show you guys the rest of the apartment. Okay, so right here is the like guest bathroom, 2nd bathroom. Sorry, it's really echoey, y'all. This is the bathroom. It was a cute little apartment. I ain't gonna lie, this was a cute apartment. It was enough space for me to get done what I had to get done. I liked it. Over here was my laundry closet. And that's why I was so excited about the laundry room in the house. If you haven't seen my house tour, go ahead and click here. But because y'all see how small that laundry room is, my washer and dryer barely fit in there. One thing I mentioned to you guys that I was going to be buying me a townhome, and I paused plans when I met my boyfriend. But one thing I did was I had started buying me like furniture for my home, so that when I moved into the townhome, I would already have furniture that I wanted. And I just started, like over the last year, I just been buying like my forever home furniture. But this room right here, my queen bed, I'm gonna show you guys the decorations that I have, but I had a queen bed and it was like a sleigh bed and like a nightstand, but my stuff was like oversized. It barely fit in there. Like it was just enough space for the bed and then a nightstand, and then it was like literally that much space to walk between the wall and the bed. The thing that I didn't like about it was that door gets stuck, but that was all I had for a closet. And y'all know influencers, YouTubers, whatever, we got a lot of stuff. This room is so small that I had to put my dresser in that closet, and my like tall dresser, chest, whatever that thing is, was in this corner. Like we was just packed up in here. When I say we, I mean me. I had a lot of stuff and I had big furniture and it was just like packed up in here. So yeah, it just wasn't working. So I already knew I was gonna be moving out and getting something bigger. I just didn't know that we were gonna be getting that house. This was my office. This room right here was my office. Connects to that like front bathroom. This room actually had a walk-in closet, and I originally wanted this to be my bedroom, But y'all, there was not enough space in here for my bed. Initially, when the movers came, we moved and we put my bed right here. And it was like, let me get close. Literally, we put that dresser right here because it was not gonna fit in that closet. It wasn't long enough. And then the dresser also wouldn't fit in between this space between the door here and the closet there. It would not fit without like getting slapped up by the door. And I did not want my furniture getting banged up. I just paid a lot of money for that furniture. So we had to, initially when we were moving in, it only made sense for that long dresser to go right here. When I tell y'all, I was like, trying to get in between the dresser and my bed. It wasn't working. And then the tall dresser was right there and it just wasn't a lot of space, so it wasn't working. So I ended up having to go into that other bedroom, which is not as wide, but it was long enough to fit my bed, the nightstand, and just had to put that dresser in the closet. But yeah, y'all, this was my apartment. So yeah, I had some people asking me what it was like living alone. Amazing. I'm actually kind of sad to be sharing my space with somebody. It's just different when you have your own place. Like, you can do exactly what you want. You ain't got to worry about nobody telling you pick this up, or you ain't also ain't got to worry about cleaning up after nobody. Like, everything is exactly how you want it to be. So if you mess it up, you can only be mad at yourself. If it's missing, you can only come at yourself. And I'm gonna miss it. Now, don't get me wrong, I am excited about moving in with my boyfriend. This is like the first time I've ever wanted to like actually live with a boyfriend. Actually, I had a rule that I wasn't gonna live in with a boyfriend. I wanted to move in with a fiance. But y'all, my boyfriend was literally driving, I'm not gonna say cities, but my boyfriend was literally driving. I live in one city, he lived in another city, and then worked in a whole nother city. Every single day, my boyfriend drove from his job to his house to my house. And then every day before he got to work, he would get up at like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning and drive from my house to his house to his job, because I told you guys that my boyfriend does dog breeding and training. So every day he had to get up at the crack of dawn to go spend time to make sure he's training the dogs, make sure the dogs are fed and well kept, and he keeps up the routine with the dogs because that's part of his business. So then in the evenings he would have to come back, make sure they're fed, walk, and then he would come here. Y'all, he did this every single day for since we've been together. Every single day he was making that trip. And I feel like in relationships, it's about compromise, and that was a compromise I was willing to take. Every single day this man was driving like 3 hours, just driving time, 3 hours to make sure that he was coming to see. I'm talking about just in the morning, 3 hours, coming to see me or spending the nights with me, going to see his dogs and taking care of his house, and then going to his job. And then he would do the same thing when he got off work, on top of working his job. So I just felt like it was a no-brainer compromise. At first when he mentioned it, I was like, nah. But then after like seeing him, he had gotten into 2 car accidents. I was like, and then it was like becoming scary at night driving. Sometimes I would go with him at night to go like check on the dogs and whatnot, and we would be so tired. And I'm like, I just don't feel comfortable with my man driving up and down this highway. So when he brought it up again, I was so relieved. It's like we be on the same page. When he brought it up again, I was literally like, how am I gonna bring up us moving in together? But when he brought it up again, I was like, yeah, let's do it. All right, so I just realized I didn't talk a lot about the pros and cons of living alone, and I wanted to get into that. So some of the things about living alone, like I said a minute ago, I was living alone for 7 years. So some of the things that I don't know, gather, I guess, like pros and cons. One of the cons is that it is expensive to live alone, because I mentioned that you're not sharing bills with anybody. But at the same time, there are things you can do to cut back. So one thing that I did as far as living alone is I stopped buying groceries in bulk, because when you live alone, you only have to worry about yourself. It gets real easy to be like, man, F them groceries. I'm about to go get some fast food because I want to go home and sit down. So definitely buying my groceries one at a time, which means I had to make multiple trips to the grocery store. Fortunately, in my apartment, I didn't live really far from the grocery store, so it was fine. But that definitely helped. Another con is bugs. I am scared of bugs. So whenever I had a bug in the apartment, I had to figure it out. So I mean, I done killed bugs with everything. I done killed bugs with Lysol, Windex, shoes. I killed a bug with a belt, y'all. Like, like it gets, the bug situation sucks. Like, and then it was like ants and stuff. Like, it's just bugs you can't prevent. Like ants, centipedes, we get in the house, flies. Like, yeah, that definitely sucked. Other things, when you hear stuff, oh my God, when you hear stuff and you're in the house by yourself and you know you shouldn't be hearing stuff, it's always creepy. I'm like, did I just hear that? Especially when, cause y'all have a cat and a dog, there's Daisy right there on the couch. But when she hears something and I don't hear something, like that just kind of freaks me out. Oh, when you get sick, I live alone and I live in a different city from my parents and my family. So when I got sick, it was kind of like YOLO, like not even YOLO, it was solo. I was on my own when I was sick. Fortunately, I have good friends who will come over, like if they're sick or if I'm sick, we'll come over and like chill with each other or like bring each other something. But yeah, those are pretty much the cons of living alone. The great things, I mentioned that, which was, not having to worry about anybody else, your own stuff, doing stuff the way you want to do it, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. Living alone definitely teaches you independence. It'll like make or break. It'll teach you how independent that you are. Some people probably live alone and feel like, oh, this ain't for me because I get lonely, I get clingy. But for me, it was like, dang, I like being alone. Like I love having my own space, which was important to me when me and my boyfriend decided to move together. I was like, we gotta have enough space in this house so we can retreat in our own corners. Doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing, but just so like we can have our own like space to create how we want. Like I'm just big on like space and like energy. I wanted my own like room where I can go in and I can like do my videos, I can film it, I can decorate it exactly how I wanted to, like just to maintain some sense of like my own area. Like that office upstairs, which I'm gonna show you guys, is my area. So being alone can teach you to be better with your finances. I mean, to me, it taught me a lot about my finances, and I have a video on my finances, but basically living alone is what kind of jump started me getting better about my finances, because again, you're not splitting stuff, it's totally on you. I'm not one of those people who like to ask for anything, so I had to figure it out. So some like tips I have as far as living alone is, if you can get an alarm system or pick a place with an alarm system, definitely do that. I had an alarm in my apartment because again, I was living by myself. I'm young, I'm tiny, like I'm a tiny person. I'm only 5 feet, y'all. And shit happens, so I definitely needed an alarm system. I do recommend getting a pet, like just to combat, like I think that's why I never got like lonely, because I had like pets. I had a like, if I want to sit up on the couch and snuggle, I can go snuggle with Daisy. Y'all see she on the couch. And again, this is a little sneak peek to what's going on in my house. So I'm gonna go to the store and buy some stuff, and I probably will try to document that because you guys want to see me decorate. But yeah, getting a pet definitely helps. If you can tolerate a pet, get a pet, just to kind of combat that being in the house, alone type of thing. What other tips did I have? Meal prepping when you're trying to like crack down on your budget. Meal prepping tends to do the best for me, and cooking meals like once or twice a week does best for me. Like that just works for me, especially if you have a busy lifestyle, because you're not gonna want to come home and cook all the time. And then on top of that, when you grocery shop, sometimes it's hard to find food to just accommodate you. Like you're like, dang, I really don't need a whole 2-pound bag of shrimp. Like what I'm gonna do with a 2-pound shrimp? I only need like 2 servings. But so meal prepping helps with that. If you are a female, woman, young lady, girl, whatever, however you identify, I recommend investing into a drill set. When you buy stuff for your house, you're gonna want to have it put up, exactly, or your apartment, you're gonna want to have it put up when you want it put up. So invest into a drill. That helps a lot, with hanging stuff and putting stuff together versus sitting there twisting. When I got a drill, oh my God, I started buying so much stuff to hang on the walls. My apartment has so much stuff on the wall just because I had a drill and I love using it. Get bug spray. I mentioned killing bugs by yourself when you're scared of bugs. Oh my God, I'll be in there screaming and it's just me. Matter of fact, one time, funny story, and I hope Kim see this video. One time I was on FaceTime with Kim and a spider ran behind my bathroom caddy. Man, I'm gonna see if I can find the clip of what she said she saw.
Run.
But I was like literally screaming. And she was like, are you okay, friend? Cause I know Kim say friend. I was like screaming at the top of my lungs. And I scream every time I see a bug because I'm not a bug person. It was a big spider too. What was the last thing? Don't shit where you eat. Do not shit where you eat. And by that I mean, don't date nobody in your neighborhood. Cause I haven't like actually dated somebody in my neighborhood, but I have exchanged numbers with men in my neighborhood, and it just got, not even men, it was one man. It used to be some dudes that lived upstairs from me used to try to talk to me. That shit is annoying. I can't stand that. Like, I just want to come home. Like, I'll be outside with my bonnet on, rolls in my head, crusty, ain't wiped the slob and the crust out my eyes, and they want to talk. And I'm like, I don't want to talk. So I got to the point where I would go outside of my headphones, and they wouldn't even be on, so I can listen to what's going on and just would ignore people. Don't make eye contact, keep walking. I know that sounds so bad, but you just don't want to shit where you eat, because the guy that I did exchange numbers with, I wasn't even really that interested. He just seemed like it was cool, and I was like, whatever, he's cute, we can just talk, whatever. But it got kind of awkward when I started talking to somebody else, and they were coming over, and he would be there and like see the person coming in and out. I know he felt salty about it because he was trying to talk to me. And then one time, I kid you not, one time, I swear y'all, this happened. I was walking my dog, and I saw him walking, and I wanted to, it gets to the point where you want to just avoid the person. I wanted to avoid him, so I like literally saw him like walking into like the short entrance of the apartment, and I'm walking down on the side of the building, which is a long hallway to get to my apartment. I sat there and like intentionally took my time, like, okay, if I just walk around one more time, he's gonna go in, and by the time I walk back around, me and Daisy can just walk in the house. I swear, y'all, he didn't know that I saw him, but I saw him walk into the entrance. I waited, walked in, and I swear he timed it. Like, he sat there like waiting to hear my footsteps, and then like it's like he sat by the mailbox or something. Then he started walking so that we would bump into each other. That shit was so awkward, and I was like, ugh, like. But yeah, I just recommend not. I don't care how cute he is, how whatever, what he drive, what he got, how polite. Don't wait till you move. Wait till your lease is up to start talking to him, because it is awkward when you move on. That's really it. If you're contemplating living on your own and you can afford it, I recommend everybody do that. That's like one of those things like solo trips, which I kind of did a solo trip in New York, but I recommend everybody like try to live on your own. It's pretty amazing. And again, you learn so much about yourself by living alone, because you just develop like so much like, I don't know, self-sufficiency. And like when you're not relying on somebody, I feel like you find out who you really are and what you're made of. So I recommend everybody try living alone if it's possible. I know some people, you got significant others, you got kids, it's not possible. But if you are single and you're young and you can do it, I recommend doing it, because there's nothing like having your own space. Like, I loved going home. Like, that was just my, I kind of miss my apartment. I was really sad when I turned my keys in yesterday, but yeah. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to add this tidbit to the end of the video. Again, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know you guys want to see me do my decorations, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the store today to go buy some stuff, and I'm going to try my hardest to record it. But sometimes I just feel so awkward, like filming myself in public. So, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave. Bye. Thank you.